I never thought my life would turn into some kind of thriller movie, but here I am, still shaking my head over it all. It started with the sound of my front door exploding inward at the crack of dawn. Boom, like a thunderclap right in my living room, and there she was, bursting in with her hired muscle, eyes locked on my tiny baby girl, barely a week old, like she was some prize to snatch. Susan Grant, the iron-fisted HOA boss of our cozy little Willow Ridge neighborhood, waving this bogus court order she'd probably scribbled up after one too many Chardonnays, screaming about how I was unfit, how we were a danger, and how she was here to save our family. Yeah, right. Save it straight into her greedy pockets. Let me back up a bit, because this didn't just drop out of nowhere. It was building like a storm you see coming but can't outrun. I'm John Reynolds, ex-Army guy. Spent years bouncing around bases, dodging bullets in places I'd rather forget, and all I wanted after hanging up my boots was a quiet spot to plant roots with my wife, Sarah. We found this sweet bungalow on Maple Lane, big yard for the dog we dreamed about, extra room for the kid we'd been hoping for. Felt like the American dream wrapped in a bow. Sarah, she's my rock, followed me through every deployment without a complaint, turning dusty barracks into home. We closed on the place last spring, painted the walls sunny yellow, planted some tulips, and yeah, met the neighbors. Most were great, like the old couple next door with their endless cookie plates. But then there was Harold, the retired mechanic 2 houses down, always tinkering in his garage, quick with a joke and a warning. Watch out for Susan. She runs this HOA like her personal kingdom, and she don't take kindly to newcomers who don't bow. At first, it was little stuff, petty as hell. A note under the door about our welcome mat being the wrong shade of blue, violating some ancient bylaw buried in a stack of rules thicker than a phone book. I laughed it off. After dealing with drill sergeants and desert heat, how bad could a clipboard-wielding busybody be? But Susan wasn't just nosy. She had this cold, calculating edge, like she got a kick out of flexing her power. Her husband, Robert, was this slick lawyer type, always in tailored suits, and together they lorded over the biggest house on the block. A gaudy thing that screamed, "We're better than you." Harold filled me in over backyard beers. Susan had been HOA queen for decades, inherited the throne from her old man, and she'd driven families out before with endless fines, over grass too tall by an inch, or holiday lights up a day past the cutoff. It was all about control, he said, but I didn't know then it ran deeper, tied to her family's shady deals, land grabs masked as community improvements. Things escalated when Sarah got pregnant. Man, we were over the moon after trying for so long, painting that nursery a soft green, dreaming of tiny feet pattering around. But the stress started wearing on her. Her doc said keep things calm, watch the blood pressure. Susan, though? She ramped up the harassment like she smelled weakness. A fine for our trash bin lingering curbside 10 minutes too long. Another 'cause our porch light bulb wasn't on the approved list. I tried talking to her once at the neighborhood picnic, all polite. "Hey, Susan, maybe we can sort this out. Feels like a misunderstanding." She just sneered, lipstick cracking into this fake smile, and cut me off. "Rules are rules, Mr. Reynolds. No exceptions, not even for war heroes who think they're above it all." Ouch, that stung, twisting my service into some jab. But I bit my tongue. Didn't want to escalate, not with Sarah watching, her hand on her belly like a shield. Then the real motive surfaced, ugly as sin. This fancy car pulls up one crisp fall day. Guy in a suit steps out, briefcase in hand, flashing this predatory grin. "Mr. Reynolds, my firm wants your property. Generous offer. Think about your growing family." The number? Laughable. Barely what we paid, ignoring the hot market and all our sweat equity. I shut him down flat. Not selling. This is home. But as he drove off, I caught Susan peeking from her curtains. And bam, the violations flooded in. Cracked sidewalk we inherited, swing set in the yard, unsanctioned. Even the nursery paint peeking through a window, not on her color chart. It hit me then. Our lot was the missing piece for her husband's big condo project, a luxury development that had bulldozed half the block, lined their pockets with investor cash, probably dirty from what I'd learned later. She wasn't just a bully. She was a land shark, using the HOA as her weapon to squeeze us out. Sarah's tears that night broke me. "John, why us? I just want peace for our baby." Her blood pressure spiked, Doc talking early induction, and I felt like a failure, the protector who couldn't shield his own. That's when the fire ignited inside, that old Army resolve kicking in. I wasn't running, I was digging in. Started documenting everything, photos time-stamped, a binder thick as my fist. Upgraded security too, cameras everywhere, streaming to a cloud server my buddy from the unit set up, the kind we used for ops overseas. Overkill? Maybe, but Harold's stories of families ruined, one even bankrupted over unapproved fence paint, made it feel necessary. He became my intel guy, whispering over fences. Saw Robert meeting shady types last night. Blueprints, big money talks. Turned out Susan's standards were a front for embezzling HOA dues. Pool cleanings on our dime, vacations billed as community outreach. As Sarah's due date neared, the pressure built like a pressure cooker. Nights I paced, wondering if I'd dragged her into a nightmare. Then Emily arrived, our little miracle, after a rough C-section that left Sarah sore but glowing. Those first days home were bliss, her tiny cries the sweetest sound. But Susan's silence felt ominous, like the calm before a storm. And boy, was it. Dawn raid, door splintered, Susan storming in with 3 wannabe tough guys in knockoff tactical gear, one pushing a stretcher, another filming like it was reality TV. "John Reynolds, you're unstable. PTSD vet endangering your child," she barked, waving that fake warrant. Sarah clutched the sheets, whispering, "John, what's happening?" Emily wailed, and something snapped. I stepped between them and the crib, voice low. "Back off, now!" They lunged for the baby, and I went full defense mode, chair to one guy's helmet. Crack! Shoulder tackle on the next, twisting his arm till he yelped. Third one charged. I tripped him flat. 5 seconds, all down. Susan's smirk faded to shock. "You'll regret this." Sirens wailed outside, deputies bursting in, guns drawn. "On your knees!" Cuffs bit my wrists as they hauled Sarah onto that stretcher, Susan snatching Emily, my world shattering. But that wasn't the end. It was my turning point, the spark for payback. Those cameras? Streaming live to my old squad mates, real pros now in county SWAT. They rolled up fast, flashbangs popping, taking down Susan's crew in a blur. My buddy Mike ripped the warrant. "Forgery! And we've got the bribes traced to your hubby's firm." Cuffs switched to her wrists, her face twisting in fury. "You have no idea who you're messing with." But she walked, bail posted like chump change, DA dragging feet. Turns out she had dirt on him, old family skeletons. Media spun it. Hero HOA leader assaulted by volatile vet. Comments flooded, calling me a monster, Sarah unfit, our reps trashed. Sarah begged to sell, flee, but I couldn't. Running meant she won, meant teaching Emily bullies always triumph. Harold's confession sealed it. Over whiskey, he spilled. His daughter, not son like I'd thought, driven to despair by Susan's harassment years back, losing her shop to rigged fines, ending it all with Susan's name in the note. "She's poison, John. Fight dirty." So I did, calling in favors from shadows, hacker pals digging deep. Found the embezzlement, money laundering through those condos, blackmail files on city bigwigs. But the jackpot? Harold's stolen ledger from Susan's dad, handwritten crimes spanning decades, including the DA's cover-up. We bypassed locals, went federal, set a trap with a fake surrender offer. "I'll apologize, sell cheap, just drop it." Ego hooked her. We met at the clubhouse, her gloating. "See? Cooperation works. My friends make charges vanish, like that poor Harold's kid learned the hard way." Wire caught it all. Extortion, laundering confession. Doors burst. FBI jackets swarmed. "Susan Grant, you're done." Her glare as they cuffed her? Pure venom. "This isn't over." Months later, sun's dipping low on our porch. Emily cooing in my arms, Sarah laughing easy again. Susan and Robert? Rotting in federal pens, HOA dissolved, neighborhood blooming. Harold's new garden memorializing the lost. We built peace from ashes, but sometimes I wonder, was it justice or just vengeance? Did I cross lines that can't be uncrossed? What do you think? Ever faced a bully like that? Share below. Right or wrong, how far would you go for family? Hit like if this hit home, subscribe for more real-life tales. Your story might be next.